So welcome back to our walking tours. Today we are exploring the great neighborhood of Streeterville. Streeterville is a modern neighborhood with a lot of the urban development and planning coming into effect really during the 60s, 70s, 80s, which feels very modern and new. I'm Samuel Ciochon. I am a local real estate broker with the Chicago Lifestyle team here at Properties, and I have been living in the city since 2007 and selling real estate since 2009, and I absolutely love exploring this city. If you are looking to make a move to the city of Chicago or move around and find a new neighborhood, we would love to help you purchase your property here in the city. And for that, I will leave all my contact information right here, as well as in the description below. Now, the boundaries for this neighborhood are gonna be mainly dictated by water. On the south end, you're gonna have the Chicago River. On the north and the east side, you have Lake Michigan. And then on the west side is the Magnificent Mile, Michigan Avenue, which is our retail flagship, lively strip. The median price for condos in this neighborhood actually range about $490,000. You can get anywhere from studios all the way up to multi-million-dollar condos. And we do have a couple townhomes close to the river, which is actually really kind of cool. If you love this video, or if you are moving to the city, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love for you to be a part of it. If you are from Streeterville and you've lived here in the past, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear what your experience was, what maybe your favorite restaurants are, what your favorite hotspot is, if there is a hidden treasure that you have. We would love to see it in the comments. And make sure you check out our other neighborhoods. We love exploring the city and have so much fun with my dog. She just literally pulls me around the entire time. So if you love seeing a really big muscle man be taken advantage by a 30-pound dog, this is the channel for you. Let's start walking through Streeterville. All right, guys, so we are starting our tour right here at one of the Midwest's busiest tourist destinations, Navy Pier. Now, developed in 1916 as a part of Daniel Burnham's plan for the city of Chicago in 1909, this was built, and it's actually the longest pier in the entire country. It's an amazing location and is so much to visit if you do come here. My favorite things are the fireworks on Wednesday and Saturday nights. It's free. You get to see it all along the lake shore, but also it has the Children's Museum. They used to have an IMAX, but they turned it into the Flyover. What they do is they literally put on a flight simulator through the city of Chicago. It gives you an aerial view, which is absolutely amazing. Honestly, every single time I see it, it makes me cry because, you know, I just love this city and it's a really cool way to experience it. But on top of it, it does have a ton of restaurants. It has shopping, a ballroom at the very end, which has concerts as well as shows and the Shakespeare Theater. And on top of it, you have the Ferris wheel, which was invented here in the city of Chicago for the World's Fair. And we actually got a new one just a couple years ago, and we sent the old one to another city. I think it was Wichita. Also, it has the world's largest rooftop bar. You know, I love a cocktail, so that's there. So make sure you check it out. As we're leaving Navy Pier, the very first building that we kind of passed is a very significant property in terms of Chicago zoning. So built in 1968, this 70-story building was built by two architects that were students of Mies which is an architect that was super famous here throughout the world and known for building the modern high-rise. Now, this building is the only building east of Lakeshore Drive. And after it was constructed and opened, the city of Chicago actually passed an ordinance that said you could not build anything east of Lakeshore. So this is gonna be the only thing that you're gonna find until you go all the way up to Edgewater. That's gonna be on the lake. So kind of a cool history. Also, if you are a movie buff, While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock was actually shot in this building, and it's one of my favorite movies, so check it out. So one of the hidden treasures of Streeterville is actually a great little park that's close to Lake Michigan and the water reclamation plant. It's called Olive Park. It's this entire strip and actually has some of the best views of the city skyline through Streeterville, which is going to be right here where you get the Hancock, as well as some other iconic Chicago buildings. Now, also right behind me is going to be Ohio Street Beach, which is a really quaint beach that not a lot of people actually go to. If you're looking for something that's in the heart of the city that is a little bit more local oriented, this is gonna be your beach. Now, the cool thing also, as a triathlete and an Ironman, I actually train open water right here as well, because from the entrance, they actually have lockers over on the west side of the beach, but there's the entrance in there, and then they have a buoy system that goes all along the water break wall that you, as a swimmer, like an outdoor swimmer, can swim along. It also is about a little over a half a mile long, so you can get a lot of distance in, which is really great, and it separates you from the boat. And then also right next to it is the playpen, which is where all the boats tie up during the summer, and it's kind of like a party scene for all the boat owners, which is really kind of fun because you have the break wall that keeps the water really nice and calm. We'll keep walking outside there. Yeah, it's so pretty. This park always reminds me of like when Harry Met Sally moment with the park benches and the big trees. So we're standing right under the overpass for Lakeshore Drive. Now, the cool thing about it is just a couple of years ago, they actually did a huge improvement to the Lakeshore path for runners as well as bikers, making it a lot more safer for all the users in the neighborhood. So they built this, what we call the Flyover. It was done in 3 phases, and it just finished a couple of years ago. Training for triathlons. It actually is an amazing improvement to the neighborhood, and we really, really, truly appreciate it. So we'll keep walking into the neighborhood. Oh my God, look at all the buildings. One of the most hotly contested and most talked about development site in the city of Chicago has always been the site where the Spire was going to be located. The Spire was going to be the tallest residential tower and was going to set the skyline up back in the early to mid 2000s. During the Great Recession, unfortunately, it never came to fruition, and there's been so many attempts on redeveloping that space. But now, Related Development actually bought it in 2013 from the original owners and have been trying to build on it ever since. It finally has happened. So in 2024, the construction of a 2-tower building started at 400 North Lakeshore Drive. 400 Lakeshore Drive was designed by the architects Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill. It's a phenomenal building that's going to set a new precedent for the Chicago skyline, especially here in Streeterville. And it's owned by Related Realty, who has really done a great job at developing the neighborhood. We are literally right across the street from 2 of their other buildings, which is going to be 500 North Lakeshore Drive, which Related Midwest built back in like 2014. And it actually started one of the apartment booms here in the city of Chicago with luxury apartments. And then they also just constructed One Bennett Place, which is right behind us, which is a combination between condominiums as well as rentals. and is a phenomenal building. When they built this building, the neighborhood made them redesign their little park right behind it, which Parkview, which is 505 North McClurg, overlooked, and they got to redevelop it. It's a really beautiful park with a really awesome dog run. So again, being here with Rodeo, it's an amazing location. But with the development of 400 North Lakeshore Drive, they do have to redesign and develop DuSable Park, which is on the other side of Lakeshore Drive, which will be another really great asset to this neighborhood. So it's amazing to see brand new developments coming in and on historic sites like the Spire. Let's keep on walking. Streeterville is becoming an entertainment hub. The reason I say that is because you have the AMC, you have 2 bowling alleys, you have just so much going on with everything in the neighborhood, and it's been really fun to see it kind of develop. So the southern end of Streeterville actually back in the day used to be a ton of warehouses. Actually, one of the longest warehouses in the city of Chicago was right here with all the trains that ran straight to Navy Pier, as well as it running into the city of Chicago. Being a port city, it is what it was. Let's keep on walking. So one of the biggest cons of the neighborhood that I do get from a lot of clients is that being in this neighborhood, it is a little touristy. Now, the reason I say that is because you're going from Michigan Avenue all the way down to Navy Pier, which is your #1 tourist destination in the entire Midwest. So Illinois Street, as well as Grand, is just really busy with a lot of pedestrian foot traffic. There's a lot of hotels around here closer to Michigan Avenue, as well as the Lowe's Hotel right here. But if you're okay with that and you like a little lively neighborhood, this is an amazing neighborhood. All right, guys, so now we're walking south down McClurg Court. And the reason I wanted to stop here is because right here is an apartment building that was converted out of a big loft warehouse. Warehouses were really well known in Streeterville. So back in the day, in like the 1900s, there was that huge boost of economic development on the north side of Streeterville, but down here on the southern end, it was mainly warehouses. Actually, one of the largest warehouses in the city of Chicago was right here. These were actually converted into apartments actually just a handful of years ago, which is awesome. Also, this is one of the only public marinas in the city of Chicago, which is actually amazing. And they built this really beautiful river walk right here, and it connects to Navy Pier. You also have shoreline sightseeing, as well as the water taxi gives you access to the Chicago River, as well as Lake Michigan. And it's an amazing area. Let's keep walking. Most of Streeterville is known for our high rises, and there's like 2 or 3 timber loft buildings. But if you're looking for real estate and you're looking for what is known as a single family home or a townhome, you're normally gonna have to go to the neighborhoods in order to get them. But here in Streeterville, right off McClurg Street, you do have a little section of row homes that are absolutely amazing. There's one actually on the market right now for about $2 million. So if you are looking for kind of like single family home living in the heart of the city, it is definitely possible. So hit us up and we'll take you into them. The townhomes that look over the river is like an absolute dream. That'd be so cool. All right, guys, so now we're in Centennial Park, which is the southernmost side of Streeterville, which is right off of the river. Now, the Chicago River is our lifeline, and this park dedicates a monumental moment in the city of Chicago. Honestly, when they reversed the flow of the Chicago River south to St. Louis, God bless them. It was a engineering feat. And so this park actually represents 100 years of the Chicago metropolitan water reclamation. Right behind me is this little thing that shoots a 80-foot stream of water into the Chicago River. It's classic and iconic in so many ways. And during the pandemic, it actually shut down for a year or two, but it finally has reopened. Unfortunately, we're in the fall and the water has been turned off in the park. But during the summer, this is an absolutely tranquil moment, even though you're in the heart of the city. Now, if you go on the opposite side of the Riverwalk has been a really big driving force for bringing in a lot of entertainment. So you have the kayaks right across the way. You have a ton of restaurants and bars. Well, there's so many different things that are on the other side and make it so much fun. But then on this side, it's really quiet. So really kind of a nice contrast if you're looking to be on the river. Let's walk up here just a little bit and let's start heading back into the heart of Streeterville, going up into the medical district. All right. And the medical district is over by UIC. I already know. Don't come for me in the comments, right? We want to show the people what it's like around here. We're going to show them how it is in these parts. Watch your footing. Again, all of this used to be warehouses way back in the day, but I love the juxtaposition of all the new glass structures that are being built. But then as you get to Michigan Avenue, when the Michigan Avenue Bridge was built, you do see a lot of older buildings which have the Beaux Arts as well as Gothic styling in the Art Deco timeframe, which is going to be this NBC Tower as well as the Tribune Tower, all of like the Wrigley Building. All of the older buildings are on the west side of Streeterville and on the north side. So it's really kind of fun to have the old school mixed in with the new school. I kind of love it. Let's keep walking down Columbus and hit into Fairbanks because same street, it does turn into a different street. I love some of the units in like 240 Illinois because you get views of it. It's so awesome. So speaking of cool art, Helmut Jahn, which is a famous Chicago architect, built 600 North Fairbanks. It's an absolutely stunning building. And honestly, if you get views from the rooftop deck, you will understand why it is absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite buildings in the city. It's cool seeing water towers like the one up there. There's just very few left in the city. So guys, this is very exciting. So again, one of my very first offices here in the city of Chicago when I started my real estate career was right here. It's the At Properties on Ohio Street in Streeterville. It was the Gold Coast office. It was so much fun and I loved getting to know this neighborhood. So, memories. So now we're on Ontario Street. Ontario Street leads to Michigan Avenue, but there's a lot of hotels right here on this little block. Also, this is where the medical district kind of starts with the hospitals for Northwestern, as well as some of the other universities like Chicago Booth are all in this area as well. So you're gonna see it be a little bit more fast-paced, lots of people. So guys, we're not gonna look at Michigan Avenue today. If you want to see Michigan Avenue on the south end, I would suggest going to our River North neighborhood walk, where we actually do walk along it and talk about it. So also right behind me is some old school buildings, which are absolutely beautiful and kind of give this neighborhood such a dynamic feel outside of just the high rises. Now, a lot of these buildings are office buildings. These ones in particular are going to be the consulates. Now, Streeterville has like 8 or 9 consulates that are actually down here in this neighborhood, making it a melting pot for the city. So being in the middle section of Streeterville is going to be our medical area. This is where Northwestern's campus is, and it's their hospital as well as their law campus is going to all be down here. It's going to be a lot of sirens, but it's also going to have a lot of hotels. There's still a lot of tourism right around here. And also because the medical campus is so large and employs so many people, this is where a lot of like the food is going to be as well. Not a ton of residential properties in this section. You're gonna have to go a little further east towards the lake. That's actually kind of funny. My other office like literally was that building right there. And I was there for 7 years at Coldwell Banker. Also, from what I've heard, the best view in the city is from the pregnancy ward at Northwestern Hospital. So if you're a female and you are pregnant, move here and also go to Northwestern Hospital for your delivery because you'll get unbelievable views. Tips. We're giving tips here. I thought we were not going to do Michigan Avenue, but clearly it's inevitable. We're going to go north on Michigan Avenue. As we pass Chicago Avenue, we actually go from that medical area, the Northwestern campus, to the north side, which is our Lakeshore Historic kind of like district area. So really pretty. Elegant, untamed. Yeah, you're not tame, trust me. This is elegance untamed. Right, Munchkin. So guys, walking north at the corner of Chicago Avenue and Michigan Avenue, there are 2 old school buildings that definitely stand out in a sea of high rises. These are going to be the water tower buildings. One is going to be the pumping station and then the other is the tower. Now these are iconic in Chicago. Now built in 1869, these take on a Gothic architectural style, which are absolutely amazing. The tower right behind me actually is 138 feet tall. And the buildings, because they are limestone, actually survived the Great Fire, which happened 2 years after their construction in 1871. And it really shows the resilience of the entire neighborhood and the city. Now, they're not meant for the water reclamation anymore. The thing that we use it for is they're actually an art gallery as well as a theater and a communal space. So if you're in the city of Chicago, make sure you pop in to the Looking House Theater because we always love theater. Also, behind it is 111 East Chestnut. That's where my stepmom used to live when she was living here in Chicago and we were living up in Wisconsin. And we would train down to the city of Chicago on the Amtrak from Milwaukee. And we would stay at her place in that building. And honestly, being right off Michigan Avenue as like an 8-year-old, you absolutely fall in love with the city and you're just mesmerized by it. And that's what the initial moments that captured my heart in the city actually was. It was literally from this corner right here on Michigan Avenue. So fun look into my life and why this city is the best city in the world. Let's keep walking. So as you get off Michigan Avenue, you walk down Pearson Avenue, and you actually run into this monster of a building, which is the Museum of Contemporary Art, or the MCA. It's a really great cultural significant aspect to the neighborhood and is a lot of fun. They actually have a farmer's market on every Tuesday morning during the summer. So really great opportunity to get fresh fruit, but also make sure you stop in. They have a lot of really cool collections that exhibits are always churning over. And then on top of it, they have an amazing park in the back. I heard that they have a really good cocktail bar, like a restaurant in there, right? You've heard it too?
I've been there.
Oh, it's good?
I haven't been to the cocktail, but I've been like to the restaurant. It's cool. It's really pretty.
I was like, I heard the restaurant is really cool. I haven't been, but
it's like an underground cafe.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually haven't been in forever, but I used to go more frequently, but it is really cool. Okay, so the interesting thing about this side of Streeterville, so being north of Chicago Avenue, it gets really residential, but there are a lot of buildings that are built up on top of each other. So you're gonna see it be more like a really nice Manhattan. Now there's a lot of older buildings. There's not a ton of new construction over here. So we'll kind of like meander through and give you guys a little sneak peek into it, and we'll point out some hot spots. You see it? It sees you, I'm sorry. All right, let's let the bunny go. On the corner of Chicago and Lakeshore is Lakeshore Park, which is a really pretty park. It's kind of nice because it actually has a track around it, and it has the tennis courts as well as a community center on the end. My ultimate favorite thing about the park though is that it overlooks Northwestern campus, which it has the Gothic Art Deco style, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's just so pretty. Honestly, the buildings right across the way are condo buildings. It's 250 East Pearson. It literally is just one of my favorite buildings because the southern units in the building overlook this park as well as Northwestern's campus, and it gets views of the lake. I think it's one of the most stunning buildings. But when you're looking in Streeterville and when you're looking in River North and Gold Coast, remember that we look at ranking our buildings. So we rank them A, B, C, D, and F. A buildings are the ultimate luxury buildings. Those are gonna be like the Ritz-Carlton, which is 180 Pearson, 250 Pearson, the Palmolive building. You're also gonna see some of the nicer ones in the southern side of Streeterville, which is like 600 North Fairbanks, 505 North McClurg, which is Parkview. Those are A-tier buildings. They're very, very, very nice. And then there's buildings that go below. So when you're looking in these buildings, make sure that you're working with a real estate agent that can let you know what those buildings are ranking so that they can tell you what is going to be more beneficial for you. It also depends on price per square foot. It also depends on amenities. So each building is its own community. Unlike a lot of the other neighborhoods where you have single family homes and walk-up units, your building is your neighborhood and your community. So it makes it a little bit different than a lot of the other neighborhoods. Yes, Streeterville is a neighborhood in and of itself, but most buildings have 150 to 300 units in it. That's a micro neighborhood in some of these smaller neighborhoods on the north side or on the south side. So make sure you're looking into it. All right, let's keep walking. So as we walk up to it, there are 4 buildings that we cannot not point out because they have so much architectural significance to the city of Chicago and the modern high rise. All of them are going to be built by Mies van der Rohe. There's 4 towers total. 2 of them were built as apartments starting off in 1948, 860 and 880 North Lakeshore Drive. Now, these are the first curtain wall glass buildings. So what they did was they actually put the structure on the exterior walls, which allowed the interior to be a little bit more free-flowy. Now, we did sell one of the units in 860 North Lakeshore just this year, and the seller was an architect and they restored the unit to what Mies had originally wanted, and it was absolutely stunning. If you haven't looked at that video on our YouTube channel, I would love for you to go take a look at it and get an inside look to these buildings. We've sold a lot in these at 900 and 910 as well. These were actually done by proteges of Mies, designed, but it was actually designed by his studio, where the first two were actually designed by him. So kind of a fun little fact. Now, these buildings are not dog friendly, so unfortunately Rodeo is not allowed to come in, but they're absolutely stunning. And again, most of Mies van der Rohe's proteges. Ooh.
Dog on our lawn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not dog friendly at all. Literally, she was on the corner. Dale, you want to go on the lawn? Go on the lawn. You want to go pee? Do you want to pee on the lawn? I'm so devious. I love how that literally happened while I said this is not pet friendly and Rodeo is not allowed.
Maybe he heard that.
All right, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Needless to say, not dog friendly. So make sure you don't have a dog, and then we'll keep walking, all right? All right, so the other thing that I love about this neighborhood and being on this side versus the south side is you get a lot more historical buildings. So right across the street, we have a lot of vintage buildings that are old co-ops, a lot of them are, and they're scattered throughout this neighborhood. So you're gonna see a bunch of them in between a lot of the high rises, which is really kind of fun and just so charming about this neighborhood. So this is actually the Palmolive building. It was built, and actually Playboy had their offices here, which is really kind of fun. It's now been converted into condos, and they're absolutely stunning. It is one of the pricier buildings in the area, but it's a beautiful building. They did a really awesome job with it. And then also right on Michigan Avenue, as you, in between Walton and East Lakeshore Drive, is a classic hotel that you actually see straight from the skyline if you're coming from the north side south on Lakeshore Drive. It's the Drake Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel, and also they have an amazing cocktail bar on the interior. And one of the fun things to do is high tea. I have never done it, but my best friend is obsessed with it. She literally has so much fun. But also the other thing is they have live music and people dance, and it's so fun. So definitely check them out. Back on Michigan Avenue. All right, guys, so we are gonna end our tour on East Lakeshore Drive, which honestly, East Lakeshore Drive is quintessential Chicago. As you're coming down Lakeshore, it is the magnificent several buildings that you see that are mainly co-ops. There's one condo on it, two condos on it. Yes, but they're absolutely amazing, built in the late 1800s and early 1900s. These buildings do stand out. We really appreciate you taking the tour with us. Rodeo did a really great job pulling me around the entire district of Streeterville. Honestly, this neighborhood has seen so much change over almost 2 centuries that we've been a city, for good reason. And honestly, I cannot wait to see the future of this neighborhood. Now, as always, we would love for you to join our community, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then also, if you are making a move to the city of Chicago or neighborhood hunting and looking to purchase a property here, we would love to be your go-to real estate agent. As always, we will leave our contact information here and then also in the description below. Make sure you check out our website. We can't wait to help you live the Chicago lifestyle. So we move on to Chicago because honestly, it's the best city in the world. All right, you ready? Get back over here. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. You were good for the most part. You were good for the most part, but not the whole time. All right, Dale, out, 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 out. Hey, 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 out. I love Chicago.